festival to you. Fringe Radio.
Hello again and welcome to programme 21 of our 28 daily programmes, coming to you direct from Radisson Blu Hotel here in the heart of Edinburgh. I'm Stuart Cameron. In today's show I'll be meeting up with the cast of Monster Maid. Hugh Brown has been to see Bliss and we'll hear his chat with two of the talented people involved in that. Stuart McFarlane says happy birthday to the Fringe, 79 today. But let's begin with a couple of ladies from Wales who I met up with earlier today. Betsi is a play which tells the story of Betsi Cadwaladr, who came from humble beginnings to globe-trotting adventures, including sailing to the Crimean battlefield to serve as a nurse, where she famously clashed with Florence Nightingale. I'm delighted to be joined by the writer of the play, Adele Cordner, and also Claire Druitt, who stars as Betsi, to talk about Betsi and the play itself. So ladies, welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much for having us.
Lovely to see you. And we're looking forward to hearing some lovely Welsh lilting voices from you.
Indeed.
And Claire, you've actually driven up, haven't you, all the way?
I did. I drove straight up like an arrow, as Betsi did, straight to the heart of it, you know. Had to get there as fast as possible, yes, and it's fabulous to be here and to be bringing Betsi to people is absolutely great.
Fantastic, and we'll be talking a lot about it, and I'm sure people will be hearing what you have to say and will be quite intrigued and want to come along and see it, which is the whole point. Now, you play Betsi, as I mentioned. Adele, you've got quite a few roles in this.
Yes, indeed. I play Jane Williams, who was Betsi's biographer and wrote her story down, and they actually published a book of her story during her lifetime. And Jane was a historian from, she lived in Wales. She wasn't Welsh, but she lived in Wales, and she was really interested in Betsi's life, and so she wrote the book for Betsi. But I also play all the other characters in the story, because we tell the story of Betsi's life from Betsi's point of view, and so we feature all of the characters that she describes that she's met through her life, and I play all of those characters, so I'm leaping in and out of the story using hats and scarves and shawls and so on to actually represent all these different characters, including, of course, the great Florence Nightingale, who Betsi met on her travels in the Crimea and when she worked there, and she clashed a little bit with her.
Oh, more on that in a second.
Yeah.
But we're actually recording this early in the morning before your first show today at 1:45. So the time this goes out, it will already have happened. But it's at Theatre 2, the space in Surgeons Hall. So feelings for you both at the start of this production. It must be getting a few tingly nerves now.
We are excited, yes, it has to be said, and there will be nerves as well, which I think is really good, because you have to be nervous to make something good. But we have done a preview show in Wales, and audiences have absolutely loved it. So to be able to create that and carry that on, I think is going to be really, really exciting. So I'm more excited than nervous at the moment. We'll see what happens at 1:45 when the curtain goes up.
That's right. And Adele, I mean, have you got any idea at the moment how ticket sales are going and what the interest is?
Yeah, they're going quite well, actually. I think we're around about a third sold now, aren't we? Which is
that's good.
Absolutely amazing. We really weren't expecting that in advance of arriving here. We're really thrilled. We have a good following with nurses with the Royal College of Nursing. We've developed strong links with them in Wales, and we're very lucky. We were supported by Donna Mead, who was who was one of the heads of the Royal College of Nursing. And she was an advocate for Betsi's story, so she helped us with the research. And so we do have a good following of nurses, I believe, and so we're really hoping it'll go down well here in Scotland, because in Wales it has. We've been telling the story for a few years in Wales, and it has been really well received, because even in Wales people didn't know a lot about Betsi's life and what she actually achieved in the Crimea. And in her lifetime, sadly, she wasn't acknowledged for the work that she did, obviously, as Florence Nightingale was. Betsi's story was buried and forgotten, so we're really thrilled to be able to bring that back now through the stage and through this play.
And it seems to me that you're taking this whole thing very, very personally. It's like as if an injustice has been done. Everyone talks about Florence Nightingale. No one talks about Betsi Cadwaladr.
Yeah, that's how we felt, actually, because Betsi was actually buried in a pauper's grave at the end of her life, and she died a pauper without even a pension at the very end of her life. and her work just wasn't acknowledged at all. Her book was dismissed as untrue. And so it was just literally hidden. And then for many, many years after her death, she was totally unacknowledged, and she was, in fact, her name was actually spoiled. You know, people said, oh, she was a bad woman, a woman of ill repute, a lying Welsh woman. And the more research I did of the period, I realised it was because she was Welsh. And because she was working class, and it was the clash of that she actually had stood up to power. She'd stood up to the government in her book. She'd actually said that their management of the Crimean War was really poor, and she'd criticised the way that they'd handled it, the way that they'd handled free gifts which were sent from the UK to the soldiers, which weren't being handed out to them. She was really annoyed about that, and she wanted to be right on the front line nursing, not 300 miles away where the actual main hospital was. She wanted to get right close to the soldiers, and she wrote about this, and she exposed these failings. And of course, you know, her story was completely hidden and brushed over. And and she died unacknowledged. And luckily, the Royal College of Nursing and Donna have actually managed to have a grave, a lovely gravestone put there now. And they had a service and a ceremony there when they found where she was buried. So yeah, in London.
Right. So if it was all kind of suppressed by the media, etc., and other people, how did you find out about it?
Well, because she wrote this book, and she entitled it The Autobiography of Elizabeth Davis, because she changed her name to make it easier for English people to understand, from Betsi Cadwallader to Elizabeth Davis. So she'd published this book, and it came back into print, probably about 20 years ago or so. And so I found the book when I was researching Welsh women, because our company, Her Story Theatre Company, tells the stories of women stories which have been hidden or buried, stories of extraordinary women. And so when I was researching for a play for the company, I came across Betsi, and then I found the book and then read it, and it's absolutely astonishing because it tells her life from before that, the time when she went to the Crimean War, when she was actually 65 when she went there as a nurse. Yeah, and she actually did lie about her age in order to get there. She said she was younger because she knew they wouldn't have taken her if she'd said she was 65. And but she also in her book, she also tells about her previous life travelling around the world as a servant on a ship and as a nurse. And she was absolutely incredible. Her sense of adventure and her spirit and her bravery are absolutely astonishing for a woman of that period, and for a woman from a huge working class family in North Wales, family of 16. So she somehow escaped that and went on and travelled the world and had an amazing life. So her story is incredible, and I was lucky to have this source material to refer to, so I could get a real sense of her personality. And
no doubt, once you read the book, it was really a case of you going even deeper. And,
that's right.
And sort of, I mean, did you get to talk to any of her relatives?
No, I haven't actually managed to find any of her relatives, because I'm sure there are quite a few of her relatives. She didn't have any children herself. She'd never married. But I'm sure there are a lot of her relatives in North Wales, which I haven't actually managed to find yet. But I did also research around the Crimean War, obviously Florence Nightingale's biographies, to try and get background and also the history of the period, because it was not long after the treason of the Blue Books, which was a government publication which accused Welsh people of being illiterate and immoral, and they came and they sent inspectors to come and look at the state of education in Wales, and it was kind of just after the Chartist riots in Newport, which we have also written about as a company as well. And it was a time when there was huge clashes between the government and the Welsh people, and they were really trying to suppress Welsh culture. So they came and basically had a look at education in Wales, but they were English speaking, not Welsh, so they couldn't understand what was being taught in Welsh classrooms and in Welsh Sunday schools. So they said, no, they're all, they're not being educated, they're all illiterate, so we need to put English teachers in, we need to sort of gradually get rid of the Welsh language and bring in English language schools and Sunday schools and teachers and clergy. So it was around that same period. So very interesting historical background to the whole story, and one of the reasons why Betsi, as a working class Welsh woman, was dismissed, and one of the reasons why her story was dismissed. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to come to Claire in a second, so don't worry about that. But I'm fascinated to know, because you know when we see things, a film, for instance, and it says based on a true story, and you can understand that people kind of enrich things and alter things a wee bit for the purpose of the play, etc. Is this 100% true story, or have you added little bits and pieces yourself?
I suppose I've added little bits and pieces, but yeah, quite a bit of it is verbatim from Betsi's book. Actually, some of her dialogue is verbatim. Let's say the conflicts she describes with Florence Nightingale, for example. Those are verbatim. Those conflicts are exactly as she described, because I wanted to be true to her rather than telling it from Florence Nightingale's viewpoint. And in fact, Betsi isn't mentioned in any of Florence's biographies or in any of Florence's records, which apparently she did destroy a lot of her writing, Florence Nightingale, about the nurses that she had. All of her letters and correspondence were actually destroyed at her request. So we don't know. We don't have her point of view. So I wanted to be clear that I'm telling the story from Betsi's point of view. And the characters we obviously embellish because we're actors. We want to give them, we want to make these characters relatable. So we obviously do build on what Betsi has given us. But those conflicts are as she described. It's really great fun to play and really. Just an incredible story to be able to tell. I feel quite privileged that I can tell Betsi's story and put it on the stage and get it out there for people to actually see, and to find out about her. Yeah.
Now, Claire, let's come to you at last. Well, some great answers from you there.
Yeah, it's lovely listening to Adele talk about Betsi and her research. I find it fascinating still to hear, more about it. I love it.
And how did you come to play the part of Betsi in this?
Well, Adele told me about the book when we first formed Her Story Theatre Company, and showed me a draft of what she was hoping to write, and then she kept reforming it, and we worked together and worked in rehearsal to make it into the play it is now. It's ever evolving. We have a full-length version of it, which we've toured around Wales, and Adele has managed to put everything, all the best bits, into this one-act version that we're doing for the Fringe, which is fantastic. It's so exciting, and it's such an honour to be playing this incredible woman and to feel like her and to see her, to be her, and see her story going over to an audience and seeing them engaging with it. I absolutely love it. It is honestly the joy of my life to play Betsi. She's such an amazing character.
And it must be difficult as well, as you mentioned, this is a cut-back version, and some shows are actually running the full length, the hour and a half. Not every venue can accommodate that, obviously, and clearly the one at the space at Surgeons Hall can't. But as an actress as well, it must be difficult to get halfway through it and then think, oh, hang on, which version are we talking about?
We've done lots and lots of different versions. But I honestly think if the writing in a play is good enough and the words you're speaking are what you would say as your character and you're kind of inhabiting the character enough, that actually that doesn't matter. I'm able to just speak the bits that are Betsi without worrying about cuts, and it's worked seamlessly. I genuinely think, all the best bits have been put together, and I don't feel like audiences are missing out on anything, actually. It's the whole character of the woman comes across, and it's so fast-paced and fast-moving, so engaging. She's so funny, she's so angry, she's so, warm, she's so compassionate, she's got all those characteristics, and it's all packed into a real romp through her life and through, her whole journey to the Crimea and back again, which has just been a blast, really.
What comes across this is obviously the bitterness, I think, about the fact that this was a lady who did a lot of great things, and wasn't recognised for it. What's your own views on Florence Nightingale now? Because you're involved, obviously, from Betsi's perspective. Florence Nightingale was always put on a pedestal by everyone. Everyone knows Florence Nightingale. Nobody knew Betsi Cadwallader. How does that affect you personally playing Betsi?
I think from my point of view, initially I felt very anti-Florence Nightingale. I was like, well, she was just doing her accounts all the time. She was 300 miles away from the battlefield. She did nothing. But as time has gone on, I feel like as an older woman, Betsi would also have had some sympathy with her. And in the play, she does show some sympathy with her because she was in her 30s. And she didn't expect to be out in the Crimea with 80 nurses to manage and hundreds of wounded soldiers to look after, and that huge responsibility of carrying the kind of hopes and dreams of everybody back in Britain. So it was very difficult for her, and she was a very particular kind of woman, I think, very kind of quiet and within herself. But she equally, in the play, some of our later conversations as Betsi and Florence really highlight how Florence wanted to become a nurse and how she felt the same as Betsi. They both had the same inspiration. They both actually wanted to help wounded people and to do some good in the world. So I think that there is some sympathy for Florence as well.
Definitely.
And it's not gone unnoticed that you're actually playing right next to the Medical Museum.
Yes, we're in the Surgeons' Hall. It's fantastic. It was such a wonderful venue. We were so delighted to be able to perform there and have the history of that area and that building to play in. It's wonderful. Really, really thrilled to be there. And of course, the conditions in the Crimean War were horrendous for the poor nurses. When they arrived, they literally had nowhere to sleep. They had no rooms for them. They had no bathrooms, nowhere to wash. They had one dress each. And then, of course, the soldiers were in a terrible condition as well. So I think we have to remember, that this was the beginning of wartime nursing for both Florence and Betsi. This was the start of wartime nursing, and we'd never sent nurses to front lines before. So it must have been a huge shock for both of them. It was quite an experience, I should imagine, and quite a lot for them to cope with. A lot of the nurses were drinking wine to cope with it, and a lot were getting sent home for being drunk and disorderly and couldn't cope with the work. And
of course, that would never happen these days, would it?
Absolutely
no,
not.
Definitely not. No. So it was. I think it's just incredible to be able to tell the story of Betsi and Florence's role in that as well.
And quite a challenge as well to bring this story to the stage, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yes. Yeah.
There is, and we managed to stage the story with the help of a table, a couple of chairs, a hat stand, and we do it all through the power. We've got Linda and Graham Ward behind stage, Graham Johnson, Linda Ward, backstage helping us, and Alison Gerard is one of our members as well, who does our tech for this production.
Now,
everybody's jumping up and doing something.
I was going to say, talking of the tech, 3 words which sprang out of your press release: inventive theatrical techniques.
Oh.
That got me interested.
Okay.
This is obviously something which people will be able to see without giving anything particularly away, but there's a few interesting things going on behind the scenes.
Yes, so we have lots going on, don't we, Claire?
We do, yes. So we were very concerned with this story. It could have been a lot of words and a lot of telling rather than showing. So we want to create in our imagination, by using the props that we've got, the scenes that Betsi went through and what she did. So we use that. We use a lot of flashbacks. We use a technique where Adele becomes the other people, so we always speak the names of the other people in a line at the same time so that we know what's happening. And it is quite a complicated scenario, but we found that audiences are really easily able to follow it because we're showing them what's happened as well as just simply telling the story.
Well, that's whet the appetite. That's a good answer. Very good answer. Now, tell me about Her Story Theatre Company.
Well, we've been going for a couple of years. We've had just the most amazing 2 years. We set up in spring in 2024. And we started off with Betsi's story, and the full-length version is called Daughter of Bala. And we started off touring it in Wales, in South Wales actually, and then we did manage to take it to Bala, which was a real privilege as well, which was Betsi's hometown. And we've just gone from strength to strength. It's been absolutely incredible, because we're now, Daughter of Bala is on the Wales Arts Council Night Out scheme, so we can be booked by any community in Wales for us to bring our play to the venue. So any sort of voluntary organisation can book us, and the Arts Council will subsidise the production for us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's amazing.
Doesn't always happen, does it?
No, we went to some wonderful venues just recently, didn't we, Chloe? We went to a place called Cwm Penmachno, which was...
I'm sorry? I was waiting for a big long Welsh word to come into this interview, and there it is.
Yeah, Cwm Penmachno. It was beautiful in the middle of Snowdonia. It was in the middle of mountains and down at the end of a dead end road, and it was a lovely converted chapel, wasn't it? It was absolutely wonderful, and we had a lovely audience there, and they came out on a very drizzly day.
They did,
and came to see
it
us.
was the biggest audience they'd ever had, I think.
Yeah, they said
which
it
was fantastic, wasn't it? It was a great place to play.
Yeah, and we played at Clatter as well on the A470, which was wonderful. And
sounds a bit dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Not actually on the road, presumably. Yes.
yeah, just
almost. Yeah, it was one of those
almost on the road.
Little blink and you miss it places.
Yeah, a little village hall, but that was lovely, and we had an incredible welcome wherever we've been. We've had such a welcome from the communities that we've gone to, and I think we really love taking the theatre to the community, as well as we have performed in theatres as well. In the Riverfront Theatre in Newport, and we've performed in Llanelli and Furness, and lots of other theatres all up and down Wales, in Blackwood Miners Institute,
and in Bristol.
Bristol, we did take. We took our last
we
production.
We dared
not this production, but we
we
took our play about Mary Frost, who's the wife of John Frost, the Chartist, who led the march on Newport in the Chartist riots in 1839. So we have another production about Mary Frost, which we did towards the end of last year and earlier this year. So we jumped from Mary Frost back to Betsi recently, haven't we? Just in the last few months.
That's right. Yeah. So we've got 3 plays on the go actually, because we've also got a little play that we do that's a funny play about Doreen Davy, who was the woman who caught the largest ever line-caught salmon in the River Wye in 1923. She was completely mad as a tree, I would say. And she spent 2 hours wrestling with this salmon to get it out of the river. Yeah. And that's a lovely little play that we do that also obviously is about river pollution, but without saying this play is about river pollution, but very obviously you wouldn't be able to do that today. So that's a lovely, funny little play that we've also been doing simultaneously.
There's a whole wealth of historical things that you're getting involved in here.
That's right.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Your own background then, as an actor, you've obviously done a lot of work. You've got a lot of experience there. How did you actually get involved in that, and then obviously involved in Her Story Theatre Company?
Well, I've been acting since I was really young in community theatre, and all of us, there are 4 of us who set up Her Story, and all 4 of us have got different experiences and different things that we like to do in community theatre. I've mostly acted and directed through the years, as has Adele. Alison has done some acting, some directing, and is our financial help. And Linda loves doing the props and the scenery and is hugely inventive. And we just decided that we, as a little group of friends, wanted to get together. We're all ladies of a certain age, it has to be said. And we decided that we would get together and, as a bucket list kind of thing, form a professional theatre company and just see what we could do. And it's been such great fun over the past few years just to have some friends to be with and enjoy and to share this experience with. We're not under any pressure to be anything fantastic, but I think by not being under pressure, we are being something fantastic. Certainly fantastic for us. We're absolutely loving it.
It's a great
and having
story.
a great reaction. Yes, it's amazing. And this is a real bucket list thing for us to be at the Fringe.
I was going to say, how did you get involved in the Fringe? And obviously it means so much. I mean, it's a worldwide thing.
It's just amazing. We had a chat and we said, do you think, we could take Betsi to the Fringe, a short version? And the girls were like, yeah, okay, why don't you bring some producers and, see how you get on, have a look at the venues. So I said, okay. I looked at an enormous list of venues and I said, what about the Surgeons' Hall? That would be good because it's a play about a nurse. So I rang the number, which was the producer, Charles Pament, and I said, I just rang the number and spoke to Charles, and he said, yeah, sounds perfect for what we're doing. So the Surgeons' Hall sounds great, and I can offer you a theatre. So I rang the girls back and said, we've got a gig, we've got a theatre. Oh my gosh! And it just went from there. It was just absolutely so lucky that I'd picked the venue that would be perfect for us, and that he supported us with that. So we were absolutely thrilled. And to get a week slot, he explained about having the slots in the 3 weeks, and we picked the last week we thought would be great for us. And so here we are, absolutely bowled over to be here. And it's taken a lot of logistical organising over the past 8 months, hasn't it? Yeah.
And I spoke to Charles before the Fringe started, because obviously this space is the biggest of all the big venues involved, and he is so supportive of things like this, and talented producers, talented actors, new shows coming on board. He's on board with it, and that's great to have people like that involved.
Yeah, it is. He was absolutely brilliant at advising and supporting, and telling us, the best sort of space for us and the best length of time for the production. And he has been extremely supportive all the way through, hasn't he? Really has, supportive. Yeah, it's been great.
Well, just go back to Betsi again. Local reaction. I'm very interested when you first did Betsi in our hometown or home village.
Yeah.
What was the reaction like?
That was amazing, actually, because when we first went there to Bala that day, we went to a coffee morning locally to speak to some local people, to tell them about the story and encourage them to come and see the play. And we'd managed to get a contact for a local coffee morning, and they said, yes, you can come in and talk to us about the play. So we went in and we did a very short extract from the beginning of the play and talked to them about it, and they were just like really quite surprised. They were quite bemused that we'd gone from South Wales to North Wales, because we're a South Wales company, and we're not Welsh first language. Claire is a Welsh learner, and she's doing really, really well. She's doing amazing.
Really well, but I wouldn't say we were even Welsh second language.
No. So they were quite bemused that we were telling this story, but not in the Welsh language, because Bala is a Welsh language town. And so we explained that story is universal, and that we wanted to tell it. So, but when one of the ladies said, she said, I actually own Betsi's house. And I said, do you? She said, yes, I own it. So we said, could we go and have a look? And it was rented out, actually, but we did have a look at the outside, which was amazing and really moving to see it. And she came in the evening, and she absolutely loved it, didn't she? They all came, actually. And they did.
We had a really big audience there, which was fabulous. And the feeling that we got for them was so... They just loved it. They were really pleased that we'd come there, that we were telling Betsi's story. There was a real sense of community around it. And for me, what was really moving is, in the play, Betsi says how when she was a little child, her mother died when she was very young, and when she was a little child, she used to run away up her father's fields to a cave, a cleft in the rock in the corner of one of the fields. And we walked up and found that cave where she used to hide. So I was able to go into the cave and actually feel what it was like for her, kind of sitting in there and feeling so emotional and resentful about the people who were telling her off, and the grown-ups and stuff. And that was really moving to be able to do that and follow in her footsteps.
And that really helps when you're actually playing the part of her, isn't it? Because it's like, goosebump moments when you went to the house, you went to the caves.
Exactly.
I mean, that brings it all to life, doesn't it? And that must give you that extra 1-2% in your performance.
Very much so, yes. I think it's really... It makes her into a real person. You realise that actually you have you are carrying a real person with you, and you need to do her justice and make her into a rounded personality, and really her story, I think, is so important, and I think it's a story for all of us, that by persistence and hard work and just keeping going, even at the very, very end of her life when she had nothing and she was very elderly and very ill, she was saying, well, can you find me some work? I need to keep going. I'm going to support myself. This is, she never lost that hope. And I think it's really important to get that across and in a rounded way, and to really be her and bring her to people so that people know her.
And you get to do that every night.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic. Well, look, Adele, when's the film out?
Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah.
I mean, you're on a roll here.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
Yeah.
People like the underdog stories, don't they?
Yes, yes.
I mean, is there any movement at all in that direction?
No, not at the moment. But who knows?
I think Adele should write like a 12-episode series for television.
I think a
because
series
there's
would be
so
good.
much in Betsy's life that we don't. Well, we tell some of it, but she was everywhere. Africa, China,
she
India,
was.
Australia, Brazil.
Yeah.
No end of stuff happened to her.
Yeah,
She was
is
on
incredible.
elephants, camels.
Yeah, I think definitely a 12-part series sounds
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Well, Adele, get on with it.
I
all right?
will. Yeah, that's my next job.
Get that sorted out. Get that sorted out. Well, look, it's been fascinating. I thought we were going to talk for about 5 minutes. It's ended up at 35 minutes. But it's been so interesting to talk to you both about Betsi, which is on at Theatre 2, the Space Surgeons Hall, 1:45 every day, August the 29th.
That's it.
So, Adele and Claire, thanks for coming in, and the best of luck with Betsi.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thanks for having us, Stuart.
After the break, my first Royal Mile walk of the week.
Bringing the festival to you. Fringe Radio.
I cannot believe he asked me to do OnlyFans.
Hold on, let's talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about.
We're always complaining about money.
Then get another job. I am not selling my body. I'm listening to me now. I'm good at this.
15 Minutes of Shame, from the 7th to the 30th of August at 7:20 at Playground 2 at Zoo Playground. Tickets at edfringe.com.
Black Blues Brothers, Let's Twist Again. Fringe favourites, the Black Blues Brothers are back. Expect a rock and roll jukebox, a train station, and lots of acrobatics. Every day from August 5th to August 31st at 5 p.m. at McEwen Hall, Bristow Square. Tickets available at edfringe.com.
We're broadcasting from the Radisson Blu Hotel, Edinburgh city centre, surrounded by the buzz of the Royal Mile, where you can recharge, refuel and jump straight back into the festive fun. With the space on the Mile based here, 7 theatres are filled with performances from morning until night, every day of the Fringe. If you want to be at the centre of the action, this is the right place.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? This August, magician and physicist Kevin Quantum brings an all-new Fringe show to Edinburgh. Invisible Force. Expect brand new magic inventions, impossible moments you'll never have seen before, and astonishing illusions where science and mystery collide. Electricity crackles, reality bends, and you'll leave questioning what's actually possible. Funny, surprising, and unlike anything else at the Fringe. Search Quantum at edfringe.com and discover Kevin Quantum, Invisible Force.
Bringing the festival to you. Fringe Radio.
Well, every day, of course, we come down the Royal Mile and we look at new shows that are happening here at the Edinburgh Fringe, and there's another one, August the 25th to the 29th, happening at 12:50. It's a whole hour and a half show, so it's not cut back, and it's Brodie & Co., a new musical by Helen Brown and John Moore. Hello, April. You're dressed beautifully in a white dress. Tell us about this show.
Okay, so this show is based in the 18th century in Edinburgh, and it's about Deacon William Brodie, who is a man who lived in Edinburgh. And
Original Jekyll and Hyde.
yeah, exactly. And it's basically about the two sides to him. So in the day, he's a respectable gentleman, has his love life. It's all a bit fun like that as well. And then during the night, he's a gambler and he goes to like the brothels and things. And it's about the contrast.
And who are you?
I am a prostitute.
Well, call a spade here.
Well, my name's Sarah. That would probably
not in real life. We'll just stress this.
Definitely not. Yeah, and it's just basically about the contrast between the posh and the poor and how different they are and how much they don't like each other really, because they think each other are like disgusting really.
And how like the poor had to survive by like stealing. There's a lot of theft, and it's like how the posh basically hang them. So it's all about that really. And there's a bit of a surprise at the end.
There's always a surprise at the end, isn't there? That's what draws them in.
Musical, if I didn't say before, musical.
It's a bit like Edinburgh's Hamilton. That's what we're calling it.
Edinburgh's Hamilton. That's a good name for it. That will get people in as well, so you know exactly what you're doing. Yeah. Tell us about the costumes though, because these are fabulous.
The costumes, they're great. Some of them have been rented and some of them have been bought. We've got lots of corsets going on, very puffy underskirts, shawls, chokers. And we also wanted to like, obviously the contrast. We did like creams and whites and pinks with like the darks and like the grotty.
Of course, August the 24th is when it starts, which is today.
Yeah.
And it's happening at 12:50. Now we're recording this just after 11 o'clock. So it's all exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting.
How have tickets gone so far?
Really good. Tickets are good. We can fit 130, and I think we're on 60 for today.
Seems like throughout the week, near the end of the week, it's getting a bit more full. But we're on the hustle, giving out these flyers.
The Scotsman's coming today to look at us.
And they're big fans, aren't they? Because they said a superb performance by a bright-eyed cast. The Scotsmen have put their name to that from the Fringe first award-winning composer of Jekyll. So what else can you tell us about it?
Well, there's lots of fun songs and definitely lots of dancing. You can see complete contrast in how the posh dance in their big dresses and their wigs versus like the prozzers, very like low and down in your feet and sassy and grungy. And it's very good. It fits a wide variety of people, so there's definitely aspects for everybody.
Surrounded by girls, but there is a fella here, two fellas.
I'm William. My father here is a posh who has rejected me, so I have to turn to a prozzer and fight for myself.
I've had multiple daughters and he is the first son, so he's the heir to my fortune.
You're a bad one, aren't you?
I know. I let him into a prostitute place and a very bad husband.
How did you get involved in this?
Well, it's the school runs it, so we auditioned through the school. And
which school?
Shrewsbury School.
So you've come up here to the Edinburgh Fringe. This is your first experience?
Yeah, this is my first one and it's going great. It's really fun. It's great seeing all the different acts and yeah, great time.
Well, I better let you go because you have a show to do.
Yes.
Best of luck with it, and no doubt we'll bump into you further down the line. Brody & Co, and that's 12:50 every day, August 25th to the 29th, and it's at the Paradise in Augustins, which is venue 152. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Another new play, yes, even though we're 3 weeks into the Fringe, there are still new plays coming in. This one from today to the 29th, it's Radisson Blu, venue 39, The Space on the Mile. It's called Famous Last Words, a new play about the stories that we tell ourselves. And your name is?
My name's Emily. I am here supporting the writer of the play.
Is that your brother?
That is my brother. That's James, author. He's
James Lucas.
James Lucas, yes. It's a dark comedy. It's about the problems. It's about two writers coming home on a drunken night and realise they've missed their agent. And as the story unravels and you begin to learn about themselves, what they might have missed, what could have been, it should be really exciting. I'm thrilled to see him actually bring it onto the Fringe, and of course incredibly excited.
Is this his first Fringe?
This is his first Fringe, and first time they're friends from school. They put it all together, started their production company, and have brought it to the Radisson Blu.
So where's the school?
So from London. School down in
London. Come all the way up to the Edinburgh?
Absolutely, because I think it's worth seeing. So I travel even further, but luckily it's not that bad.
Is this the start of something big?
I hope so, yes.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck with it. Famous Last Words at the Radisson Blu Hotel, 39 venue, The Space on the Mile, on till the 29th, and it's 11:35 in the morning.
And so if you have any famous last words you think you want to share, please come and see it.
Okay, excellent. There's someone else here who's trying to plug a show called The Elephant in the Room, which is one of my favourite phrases.
Yes.
And it's happening at 12:10 from today to the 30th of August at the Caves in Nidri Street.
And the same troupe are doing a different show in the evening at 17:20, 20 past 5.
And that's called The Circus and Public Opinion.
Yeah, that's some clowning around with improv where we get to decide a really important matter of very little import, but of great comedy elements, where we decide in a court what should be the right thing and the wrong thing to do. But The Elephant in the Room is also a great show.
Family friendly as well, improv comedy.
Totally.
And I mentioned The Elephant in the Room, obviously, part of Just the Tonic as well, who put on some great shows.
We do, yes. And the lovely thing about that is it's open to absolutely everybody. So there's no swearing, no innuendo, there's nothing that would offend anybody. So you can just relax and enjoy the show.
Excellent. We wish you the best of luck
Thank
with
you.
it.
And I will be wearing the elephant costume today. So if anyone wants to come and see someone looking ridiculous dressed as an elephant, 12:10 at the Caves.
There's a selling point for you.
Standing at the door, ready to get them in. Thank you so much.
No problem. Enjoy it. Well, it's nice to see new faces, of course, and some of the old faces as well throughout the last 3 weeks that we've been here on the Royal Mile Walk. And one of them is Locomotive for Murder, which we have mentioned many a time, the improvised whodunit. And who do we have here?
Hello, my name is Tom. I'm one of the cast members.
Yes, I don't think we've spoken to you before, but...
I'm one of the newer life coming into the company.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's an amazing show. It is a murder mystery where the audience decide who gets to die, and then they have to choose who the murderer is. It is randomly assigned. We don't know who the murderer is. Our detective character doesn't know who the murderer is, and the audience don't know who the murderer is. So there's a real game element to the show, which keeps audiences coming back. So they want to keep guessing and see what wonderful characters come out each time, which is amazing when we see returning faces. So yeah, it feels really lucky to be a part of such a special thing.
And you're going the whole hog right to the 31st of August, the Dead Monday as we call it.
Yes, indeed, we will be here on the Monday. So if you're looking for a good finish, a high, strong finish to the show, do have a little look out for us Monday. And
2 o'clock at the Big Inn Gilded Balloon at the Patter House.
That's correct. Thank you so much.
Good to talk to you.
Good
Take
to talk
care.
to you. Thank you.
Now, in the background, you might hear some trumpeting. And the reason for that is because there's a show called Putting the Ass in Brass. And it says, forged in coal, burnished in light. It's at the Nicholson Street, Venue 53, the Space Surgeons Hall. And it's on from today to the 29th at 1:05. Who are you, sir?
So, I'm David Molyneux. And
I'm Tasha Fish.
And you're promoting this show, and there's someone else as well?
Yes, over the other side of the road is Joshua Norman, and it's a show about a coming-out story, a 20-year-old coming-out story, from a guy who went from brass bands to pop bands, and the relationships that he made along the way that forged eventually the person he became.
I love the description here on the poster, which says it's a musical comedy with songs, scary soap ladies, and an ass-to-brass portrayal of toxic power stations and bands through the digital revolution. How can you resist that?
You can't. You must come and see.
Now, you've got a trumpet.
Yes.
Now, come on. We're here at the Royal Mile. Yeah. You're going to play something for us, aren't you?
I'm going to play... Well, the whole premise of the story is about the last post. It has many layered meanings. Last post meaning something ending and something beginning. And so that's a theme that goes through the whole of the play. So I can play a little bit of that for you if you like.
Yes, please. We'd love to hear some live music here. Well, look, we wish you the very best of luck with it, and it's on till the 29th.
29th, yeah. Thank you very much for coming along and saying hello.
More from the Royal Mile Walk later in the programme. Now, one of the musicals getting rave reviews is Bliss, which is the story of four sisters who escape the confines of their tower to explore the outside world. Hugh Brown chatted to Cameron Johnson, who plays the King, and Cara Lane, who plays Princess Taffeta.
Cameron, that was amazing, absolutely mind-blowing, and a fantastic experience for the audience.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of fun with this show, and hopefully that comes across. We've had some lovely feedback. We've been pretty much sold out the entire run. You start the show, you look up and you go, oh, okay, that's nearly 800 people just waiting for some jolly entertainment. but no, like we get a lot of love from the audiences. I mean, just now we were just sitting up in the Arthur's Bar behind the Grand where we perform, and just a lovely family came up to us and kind of saying, "Oh, we love the show so much. Thank you so much for it's really lovely. It's the community spirit around the Fringe is amazing, and it's nice to actually get to meet some people afterwards as well and hear their thoughts."
What I found amazing about the show is I thought it might just be the four princesses, and here we are. It's a huge ensemble cast.
It's basically, we've just squeezed a West End production into the Fringe. We've just shoved the door open and gone, here you go. It's a full-on cast. It's a big old show.
They all have a major part to play, actually.
To be honest, everyone works ridiculously hard. There's not a whole lot of little scene with two people and then everyone else is just off stage for ages. It's like, it's a constant, the boulders rolling down the hill, if you can imagine the Indiana Jones metaphor. It's a big old machine.
Now, you play the king, the father of the four princesses, and in some ways you're trying to protect them, aren't you, from the big bad world outside?
Yeah, so their mother, the Queen, passed away some years prior. So ever since then, I've been really overprotective of them. I homeschool them, I teach them languages and sciences and maths and everything. And the King is a bit of a nerd, so I do genuinely enjoy, teaching my daughters all of these things and seeing them grow up to be outgoing. However, any suggestion of them wanting to leave the tower and leave the castle is shut down immediately. Like I can't imagine them being out in the big wide world, and that's kind of the tension that we feel at the start of the show. The opening number is them wanting to get out. Papa, let me out of here. I want to see the big wide world.
It's interesting. I can relate to that because my daughter, who saw the show with me this afternoon, has just bought her own house and left the family home, and it is really strange.
She's flown the nest also. So I guess we're two fathers having to get used to that.
What do you think about is the appeal of Bliss?
It appeals to everyone. I think we literally had a lady come up to us and said, "Guys, I don't even have kids, but I don't care. I absolutely loved it." People have come from all walks of life, all age groups, and there's something for everyone. There's something for the kids. There's the spectacle and the music and young protagonists who they can kind of relate to. Hopefully, they definitely can. But then also for older people, whether they're parents or not. There is honestly something for everyone. I know it sounds a bit cliche maybe to say that about a show that you're in, but it's true.
Everything comes together, the music, the lighting, the set, and of course the singing and the acting, they all blend together.
Yeah, this has been in development now for a good number of years. I actually did one round of workshops last year on the production, and there was a year before that I wasn't involved in, that they workshop in London as well. And then, it started life in Seattle. So it's really had loads of iterations, and we've actually had to cut it down quite a bit to fit the constraints of the times that we have available for the theatre space here at the Grand. So, in theory, it's a big old 2-act full with an interval in between and everything. But we had to cut it down into 80 minutes or 85 minutes. Whole characters have been cut. There's been stuff that's been trimmed and cut down. So I think even if audiences see this version may never be seen again, because it has been specifically made to fit the Fringe. So people who maybe think, oh, I wish I could see a bit more of that particular character, or I wish this so-and-so and so-and-so, there's a chance that actually the thing that they wished for or to see more of is actually in the full version.
They haven't cut the King's part, though.
Not yet. I feel like I could be on the chopping block at any moment. Nobody's saying. No. Seriously though, I was really glad to be involved with this again. Having done it last year, you do workshops as actors. You do workshops from time to time for various things that are in development that are being written. And this was a thing that I think I remember day 2 of rehearsals last year. I texted my agent and I said, "You know what? I'm actually all in on this. This is actually brilliant." So I kind of felt really happy to be offered it again, to take it to the Fringe, and really felt a bit of a sense of pride in it, because I'd been involved in some bit of the development process.
And you should be proud because it's a fantastic show. Cameron, for the moment, thank you. Let me turn to Cara, who plays Princess Taffeta. We've heard from Cameron what he thinks about the show. What's your take on Bliss?
Oh my goodness. I was the same as Cameron. I kind of turned up to rehearsals. I haven't done any other version of this show. So this is the only version I know of the show. And I turned up to rehearsals and just heard the music live for the first time and was completely blown away. And I was sat side stage quite a lot of the time in rehearsals, giggling at some of the lines and seeing how each actor was discovering their role. Even people who had done the workshop before were rediscovering and learning new ways to play their roles. And yeah, I think it's, as Cameron said, a wonderful show for everyone. And the music is, I really love the music. It's very lively, it's catchy, it's and my goodness, I get to play a princess, and I have never in my career played a princess. In fact, I have my own cabaret show called 50 Shades of Red, and it's all in my opening line of the song. It says no princess gowns or ingenues, and now I've kind of ruined that reputation. Playing a princess for the first time at 45 years old. I'm quite happy with that.
The amazing thing is, it's not just one princess in the show, it's 11, I think it is.
Well, you know it better than I do. My goodness. So there are 7 perfect princesses, and then the 4 sisters who are also princesses. So, and I'm the senior princess, the head of the perfect princesses. I've been hanging around for a while for my Prince Charming.
This is not your first time at the Fringe, though, is it?
No. I've been here 3 times before. The first 2 times I was producing my own show called The Girls from Oz, which was like a vintage 3-part harmony group with very tongue-in-cheek, funny Australian songs. And then, so that was a real eye-opener, because I did not know what to expect. And it was very, very tough kind of producing your own show, being in your own show, having to pay for a cast. It was only a small cast, but cast and musicians to be in Edinburgh, and trying to sell, so flying all day, every day. And then the 3rd time I was here was with the Jive, who are a jive and swing band, and they're back here now, actually. I think they had their first show today. And so that was wonderful, kind of a stepping stone to being a little bit more relaxed, not having to produce my own show, and enjoying the Fringe a little bit more. And then this time I'm fully embracing going to see as many shows as I can, seeing all the other talent out there, seeing the other incredible ideas that people come up with, and how hard they all work. I don't think I've seen a bad show since I've been here, and I've been seeing at least 1 or 2 shows a day, maybe 3 or 4 sometimes, and we've been here the whole month, so yeah.
Cameron, a musical then, and singing is obviously one of your many talents.
Yeah, I mean, I trained purely as an actor, but I've always sung. I play bass guitar as well. I've dabbled in a bit of piano every now and then. So even though my training was predominantly acting focused, I've always been comfortable in a musical theatre environment. And growing up in like youth theatre groups and things, I'd done a lot of musicals. So once I'd graduated from drama school as a serious actor, quote unquote, as soon as I started getting musical theatre auditions through, there was no trepidation on my part, I think, because I'd kind of always done them to some extent. So it's kind of, musical theatre's been good to me, actually, I'd say.
And Cara, I mean, there's a lot of musicals at the Fringe. I mean, I've been to see Disenchanted, and there's lots of other musicals, but Bliss, for me, is actually, I have to say, is a step above any that I've seen this year.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I think it definitely helps having such incredibly high-profile producers behind it, because I've also been working on it for a while. This is they've done a few different versions of it. You know, each time they do it, it gets slightly better, and they discover more and different ways to make it work. And so yeah, I think we're really fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to show it off here. We've kind of gone to the audience, haven't we? I mean, so many people come to the Edinburgh Fringe, and we're kind of here, so people just go, oh, we'll pop in to see that show as well. So yeah, it's quite lovely having pretty much sold out shows every day in a 750-seater theatre. It's really nice, yeah.
And Cameron, you talked about the full show being longer. Where does Bliss go after this? Do you know?
If I could have my wish, it will go into the West End and Broadway. But it feels like that is the next logical step, you know, because at this point we've got a set, we've got costumes that are all made for us, you know, the orchestrations and the band are insane, and it's like, right, come on, logically, it's got to be. And I think that is definitely part of the reason why we're here in the first place, you know, to really get the word out. Because obviously there are thousands and thousands of people that come to the Fringe, whether people are here for the whole season or whether they're only here for a weekend or whatever. Tons of people are coming here. So in terms of getting the word out, spreading awareness, so to speak, about Bliss, hopefully we've ticked that box. And yeah, next up, the big time, baby, the big time.
And it would make a great West End show, wouldn't it, Cara?
Oh, I think so. I think it's got everything, and it's it's got lovely morals. It's just a spectacle. There's so much to say about it.
Perfect is my thought.
Perfect, yes, just like the perfect princesses.
Well, I want to say thank you to both Cameron and Cara for speaking to me this afternoon on Fringe Radio, and enjoy the rest of the run.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
There will always be pink lagoons. There will always be magic wands. There will always be magic spells that glimmer until they're gone. But we have our voices and sharper minds than any sword. And we have our choices and stories that you can't ignore. The air is cold, the night is hot. I'm wide awake at midnight. I become myself beneath the stars, and I step into tomorrow.
So what am I supposed to do? A pretty prince with power and fame. It's time I step aside. Time for them to take the reins. Take the keys to the castle. The kingdom reaches wide and far. I wanna see what happens when princesses are put in charge.
When we're put in charge.
Princesses are put in charge.
Princesses are put in charge. Princesses are put in charge. The air is cold, the night is ours, and the story's just beginning. She screams the truth, she burns like fire. She steps into tomorrow. In a land not far away, lived a girl who wanted to be perfect.
In a land not far away, lived a girl who wanted to be free.
And she wanted strength,
and she wanted knowledge,
and she wanted badly to be heard,
and she wanted space,
and she wanted friendship, to see the wild and touch the earth,
and she wanted happiness,
and she wanted beauty, and she wanted power,
and she wanted love.
Once upon a time there was a princess, whatever that means, dreaming but wide awake. Everything breaks at midnight, dreaming but wide awake. Everything breaks at midnight. Tomorrow is ours to take. Ground's gonna shake at midnight, dreaming but wide awake. Everything breaks at midnight. The air is cold, the night is ours. Tomorrow is a mystery. And I'm wide awake with the midnight stars. So I step into the into the starlight.
And Bliss is on until Monday the 31st at the Pleasance Grand Venue 33. Up next, a chat with both actors appearing in one of the darkest plays at the Fringe, the powerful Monster Maid.
Bringing the festival to you. Fringe Radio.
One story, two people. Amanda Crowley and Thomas Duncan. One lawyer, one mass murderer. The case is lost. She wants it anyways. Not to win, but to understand how monsters are made. Glimpse behind the societal masks, as with Monster Maid, an intense character study, a captivating, psychological, intimate play is coming to the Fringe at Paradise in the Vault. Only the one who can change his mind can actually change something. Monster Maid runs from August 24th to August 30th. Book your seats today at edfringe.com.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? This August, magician and physicist Kevin Quantum brings an all-new Fringe show to Edinburgh. Invisible Force. Expect brand new magic inventions, impossible moments you'll never have seen before, and astonishing illusions where science and mystery collide. Electricity crackles, reality bends, and you'll leave questioning what's actually possible. Funny, surprising, and unlike anything else at the Fringe. Search Quantum at edfringe.com and discover Kevin Quantum. Invisible Force.
This August, discover the best comedy, cabaret, kids shows and more at the Free Festival. With over 360 daily shows, there's something for everybody at a price for everyone. Donate what you think the show's worth at the end, or book pay what you can tickets to keep the Fringe accessible for everyone. The Free Festival, the real spirit of the Edinburgh Fringe. Full programme at freefestival.co.uk.
One of Australia's best tribute acts, the 64, make their Edinburgh Fringe debut with 70s Jukebox. At the Assembly Rooms, Bijou, Venue 20, you'll enjoy powerhouse vocals, slick choreography and full-on energy as the 64 bring you the best music of the 70s. They're relishing the opportunity to play for an Edinburgh audience for the very first time at 2:30 every afternoon from the 18th to the 30th of August. Get your tickets now at edfringe.com.
For 31 years, The Space UK has championed new writing and exciting companies from across the world, giving artists an affordable, supportive and professional platform at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Now presenting one of the Fringe's largest and most diverse programmes across 19 theatres and 6 venues, there's always something new to discover at The Space UK. Explore the programme and book at thespaceuk.com.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
Well, I'm sure you've heard the advert on Fringe Radio for Monster Maid, and I'm thrilled that the man behind the play, Alex van Ryck, has joined me in the studio, along with the actress Astrid Kutcher, who plays Amanda, the lawyer, and of course the mass murderer Thomas Duncan, played by Alex. Welcome to you both.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to this country.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Now, Alex, first of all, really exciting times, because there's been a big build-up to this, of course. How do you approach the Edinburgh Fringe with this play?
It's always been a dream to actually to be at the Fringe. And when we did this play, the first round in Berlin, after we finished there, I sat down and I said, like, let's bring it to the Fringe in Edinburgh next year. And then I started working on it, and I started reaching out because I had no idea how it works, bringing a play to the Fringe. And so I researched the venues and whatever, and just wrote them emails and asked, hey, how's it going? How does it work? What do I need to do? They were very friendly, very kind, and Paradise Green actually was the first venue that responded to it, and they've been very helpful with everything. And it went very smoothly, and then, we started doing it. And I think it's one of the things, it's good to not think it through to the end, because if you do that, you never start. Because then what turns up, all the things you have to do, especially when you're a very small production team as we are, so I did it all by myself. And so it's kind of daunting, but at the same time thrilling and really scary. And there's a really sense of a thrill of anticipation, and now there's the point where you just want to go. We've been working now on it since November last year, and now there's just the point where we're going to just go on stage and do it.
And the Edinburgh Fringe is known all over the world, and it hits Germany as well, and literally every country. I mean, it is so famous. So just to be part of that, even though there's 3,600 other shows going on, and cutting through them is not the easiest thing in the world to do. But you mentioned briefly about the logistics of going literally from scratch to making an inquiry of how to get a venue at the Edinburgh Fringe, and just take us a bit more deeper into that process and get the right venue as well.
I have to say that actually I was very lucky there, because I was reaching out to various different venues, which I did research on the Fringe website actually, because they are very helpful there. They can say, they've got a filter system where for venue search and whatever, we can say I'm looking for that kind of stage, for that kind of theater production, or for that kind of comedy, or whatever you need. And then it gives you a list of possible venues that might be suitable. And then I did research the contacts, and then I just wrote them an email. And then I was very lucky that Paradise Green responded to me, and they were very kind and welcoming me as a new writer, as someone who's bringing new writing, a new play to the Edinburgh Fringe, and they were very supportive for new writing. Then they filled me in about the process, the application process, that they will start opening the application within 2 weeks, and then they will send me an email once the application is open, and then I can do the application, and then the process starts. And then I was very lucky. They were very helpful with finding the right place within the venue. So they thought like the Annex would be a good place for that kind of show, with that tone, with that intimacy and intensity, and so they were very supportive in that way. So I have to, we were lucky by that, because it was very smooth in that sense, and everything somehow worked very smoothly up to the Fringe.
That's always good to hear. Now,
yeah.
Astrid will bring you in here now as well, because it is important to get the right venue, isn't it? And I know the venue 29 that we're talking about, it's in Merchant Street, number 11, and it's part of the Paradise in the Vault at the Annex. You're looking for atmosphere for a play like this, and that's got it in spades, hasn't it?
Definitely. So with this play, what we're trying to achieve, obviously, is a very, very intimate setting where we hope that during rehearsals, we always said we're almost trying to put a movie on stage. We want it to feel like a close-up shot of us. For that, obviously, it's very helpful to have a venue where you feel the air vibrate, where you can sense the audience, where you can sense your co-star, where you just feel the atmosphere. And it's the Annex. I was in there yesterday for the first time, and it really has exactly this, what we're looking for. So you come in there and you immediately see and feel that even up to the last row of the audience, you would know that there's someone there, and you can see everything from the last row of the audience that's happening on stage. So I hope what we'll achieve is exactly that. We're putting a close-up shot of a movie on stage so that you can really feel and see everything.
And as an actress as well, playing the part, we'll go through kind of the storyline in a second, because it's a powerful piece, there's no doubt about that, called Monster Maid. You play the part of the lawyer. Alex is playing the part of a mass murderer. And as we've heard the advert so far, that draws you in to the whole kind of plot, that you're a lawyer, you know that the case is lost, but you're intrigued about how people can turn out this way.
Definitely. So it's a very interesting position to be in as Amanda, because as we've all said by now, and as you can see in the description, it is a case where there's no doubt about did he do it or didn't he do it. And it doesn't matter if he did or didn't, because it's clear. Obviously, we could go into logistics of being a lawyer and getting a sentence down, but that's not what it's about. So Amanda has motivation to get to know this person, talk to this person, maybe get a bit through to that person, and just try and deep dive into the human psyche of why could one commit a crime like this? Because Amanda is definitely not someone who would do something like that. Neither am I.
I'm glad to hear that.
And so it's hard to grasp for her what's the motivation behind a crime like this? Why does one choose this? And it's an interesting ride to go on, to really go from, okay, I want to find out more about this, to actually stepping up and being confronted face to face with this person who did what he did. It's very intense from the get-go.
Now, Alex, Astrid obviously mentioned about the intimacy of the play, and here at the Fringe and in this venue in particular, isn't it fantastic that the audience can be almost in your face for this? I mean they can they get an experience here at this venue that they probably wouldn't get at a normal theatre?
Definitely not, because they are so close to the actors, to what's happening in the scene, like they're almost sitting in that room with them. And I think that is a great advantage for the Fringe, for the play, and for the audience, because, as Astrid mentioned already, the aim was to put a movie on stage, to make it a realistic experience, so that it really can draw the audience in, and that they really can experience something. Not intellectually first, I hope that comes later, but first visceral, that they really have sensations about what's going on, and that it hopefully, not in a bad way, triggers something in them.
And it kind of puts extra added pressure and intensity on both of you, because, as I say, in a traditional theatre, they're sort of further away, the audience, aren't they? Yeah. But because they can see every single move that you're making, that must be a powerful thing for them to experience and for you to deal with.
Yeah, I never thought about it, that it'd be so difficult, actually. I think my approach to acting, and also to stage acting, is actually that it should be like this. No matter how far the audience is away or how close they are. Because I think it's important that they can see walking, talking human beings on the stage, and not a picture of a character or an idea of a character. No, they have to see that person, and they have to believe that this is someone who has a life, even outside the play. And so I think this is my approach to acting also, and also to stage acting. It should be like this. So yeah, it's daunting because you cannot hide. You cannot hide whatever's happening. So you have to let that happen. You don't have to be too precise about your game plan. So anything can happen. And that's daunting. But in the other way, I think that's what makes it then really intense and authentic and somehow truthful.
And it's your debut play, isn't it? Why did you go down this route for this subject matter? What appealed to you to put this onto paper and then turn it into a play?
Well, first of all, I'm born German, and I don't know. I always was thinking all the time, and since I can remember, I've been thinking about how could this happen? How could this happen that human beings do unspeakable things to human beings, and almost the whole country participated in a genocide of unknown proportions. And then I was very angry myself, and when I was doing my acting training in London, my acting coach, Giles Foreman, said to me I should read Alice Miller to find out where this anger comes from. What's the dynamics behind it? And so I started to read Alice Miller, and then it took me a few years to get back to the other works of her. And once I did, I read them through, and then somehow the setting of these two characters emerged in my head. And Alice Miller talks herself a lot about the rise of fascism in Germany, and then this idea emerged, and somehow these characters developed more and more. And then I did research on the subject matter. I've been watching a lot of documentaries about the current situation of fascism in the world, and in the US and in Europe, and it's daunting what you see there. And I hoped actually that we as society we were through with it, but we aren't. It seems like we are not. And so I thought, well, it's time to talk about it, and not just about what shall we do with these people, but the question is always why? Where does it come from? I mean, yeah, we can condemn the crimes committed and whatever, and we can put the perpetrators in prison, but that doesn't change anything towards the future. if we don't understand how can it be that someone becomes such a monster. And that was the focus point I had on this, on the question of why. And from there, it developed then, if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And presumably by the end of the play, we're still none the wiser, effectively. I'm presuming that, no one actually knows the answer to why people do these sort of things.
Actually, no, because that's a question someone has to find out always for oneself. No life is the same. Some dynamics might be similar, but no life is the same. And so everybody has to think about who he is, and more importantly, who he wants to be. Because we can choose who we want to be, I think. We are not doomed to stay where we are because we've been brought up in a certain way. I think that's the great thing about being a human being. We can change. It certainly isn't always easy, and it comes with pain, I think, also. You have to face painful truths about yourself and about your life to change your life. But I think it's worth it for the betterment of society and the betterment of the human being.
Astrid, you're an accomplished actress, of course. This is a challenging play, though, isn't it? I mean, this brings out, presumably, the best of your talents.
Hopefully. It was daunting to go into it. I wouldn't say it's difficult, though, because, well, first of all, I think it's brilliantly written. I love the play as is. It is very easy to be working alongside Alex because he makes it very easy for you. And because we started rehearsing with the knowledge that we want this play to be as intimate as it is and to be in front of a smaller audience instead of a stadium, I knew that every twitch is part of the character. So, like he said before, you cannot hide anything. So if you're nervous, well, you got to put it in there. And if you're anxious and if you're twitchy, if one day, I don't know, something itches and you have to scratch that itch, either you do it or you don't. But the decision is not made as an actor; it's made as the character. So it's easy in that sense that if you really just go in there, you just sit there or stand there as the character, and you just be that person. It's not work. It's not hard. You just do it. And if something doesn't feel right, then it doesn't feel right for the character. Maybe it's exactly correct. But yeah, it's been fairly easy. I obviously I hope I'm doing a good job, and I hope that I don't want to make it sound like it's not work, but it felt easy. It still feels easy to just let go and just do it and be Amanda.
Yes, and Amanda is a lawyer. Have you modelled this character on anyone in particular, or did you just follow Alex's advice as how he wanted Amanda to be played?
Neither, because Alex didn't tell me who she is, and I feel like I used to try to act like someone I saw or after a role model, or have concrete ideas about, she could have this whatever, or she could talk like this, she could walk like this, etc., etc. It just makes it really difficult because it just doesn't feel authentic. So for this play and for this character, I just try to let all of that go, try to let go of, does it look stupid if I sit like that? Does it look good if I do this? It doesn't matter. Because we're trying to portray a real situation. We're trying to show what might go on in these rooms. And I mean, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think a lawyer cares if the way she's sitting is good for the audience to see. So just let that go. And then Amanda took her own personality during rehearsals. I mean, obviously there is something in the dialogue already. It's clear that she has certain traits, but everything else just developed naturally.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And Alex obviously casting Astrid for the part and giving her, as she's just said, a lot of leeway as to how she feels it should go. I mean, that's great to have that kind of instinct between the two of you, that this chemistry works.
Yeah, actually I have to say, I put out the casting call for that play, and Astrid actually was one of the first to get back to me. the very interesting thing is, when I was writing it, I was already thinking of her.
Really?
Because we knew each other before. We've been working together before. And so when I was writing it, I thought, like, who could play it? Because when you write something, you always think, like, who could play it? Who do you have in mind who could do it? And actually, Astrid was one of the people I had in mind for it. And then she reached out to me after the casting call was out, and I said, like, yeah. And we talked about the characters, we talked about the play. I sent her the play to read, and we talked about the conditions, about how it's going to be, because I did it all by myself, all production and anything, so it's a no-budget production. I put my personal private money into it and anything. So it's a matter of the heart, that thing, and I think it is for us both. And so it was a fit, it was a match in that sense. So yeah, and then we started to do the play, and I think giving the leeway to the characters, to her, and also to myself, because I mean I'm sitting in the same boat with her, so I had to find that person of Thomas Duncan, and so it was a lot of testing the waters. Where is it? Where do you go? And then, yeah, you find out where he is by finding out where he isn't. And so we've been doing that a lot during the rehearsals. Like, oh, that works, that doesn't work. No, that feels right, that doesn't feel right. And not putting so much pressure on the blocking or something like that, so that it has to look a certain way. It was more like, yeah, let's find what's true, and not force the characters into a certain position. I think it was maybe a bit easier for you because you're closer to Amanda than I am to Thomas. So I always had to struggle, and I struggled with it already while I was writing the play, because obviously I don't agree with his point of view. Thank God. Yeah. I obviously don't agree with his point of view. So and it was difficult for me as a writer and as an actor to decide how far do I go. And then I've been watching all these documentaries, and I've been listening to all the narratives these people use, and the ideology they have in their minds, and what they're saying, the way they are talking. And I was like, wow, that's a punch in the gut. And I said, like, no, you cannot take that away. Because if you take that away, it's like playing down what's actually really is behind. And so I had to give myself as a writer and as an actor the freedom to say, like, go there. It is not you, it is Thomas. And so the play has become more hard because of that, but more truthful. I think sometimes some things might be really a punch in the gut, but I think it has to be. We cannot look away from things that are happening. And I think theater has a duty to, in the one way, mirror what is happening outside in the world, and not backing down from even painful truth. And on the other side, to create an outline of a vision of how else it could be. And I think that play hopefully does both, because I hope that people leave hopeful in the end when they've been experiencing that play. Let's see if we succeed in that. Yeah.
Now, of course, it's a 90-minute play, which is, I think it's 85 minutes, isn't it?
85.
Yeah. And that's a nice luxury to have, because I've spoken to so many producers and actors who've said, well, look, the venue have insisted that we have to chop it down to 50 minutes because other people are coming in and this, that, and the other logistics. Some venues, like this one, obviously have allowed you to produce the whole thing, so you don't have to come in and rewrite it specifically for that moment. And that must be something which pleases you. And of course, now that it's there and it's done and it's out there, and of course after the Fringe is finished, what's the plans for the play then? Is it into movies? I think it would make a great movie.
We think that too.
Logistics, though, once again.
Actually, I don't know yet, because right at the moment, all the focus, all concentration is on the Fringe. And what's happening after that, I don't know yet. I have dreams for that play, like, yeah, getting it on tour maybe, through the UK, through Europe, developing it for a movie, for a screenplay, making it a movie. That would be a great, great thing. And I think it would make a really great movie. I think that. definitely. It's a bit like when you finish school. You have a lot of dreams, but you don't know what's going to happen. But I think life will find its way, and also that play will find a life after Fringe. How does it look, that life? I don't know yet. But I'm open for a lot of things. And I don't put any restrictions on it, except for chopping it down, because I think what needs to be said. So I'm not a friend of chopping things down just to make them accessible for, I don't know, whatever. I always think like the story of George Bernard Shaw when he was running a new play in New York, and they telegraphed him, can you chop down the last act because the last train is going... And he said, like, well, run later trains.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a powerful piece of work. I say I'm looking forward to coming in and seeing it at the Annex, Paradise in the Vault, Venue 29. That's 11 Merchant Street in Edinburgh, 4:20. Right the way through to the 30th of August. It's the full 85 minutes, nothing edited at all, and it's been an absolute delight to have Astrid and Alex with me today. The best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Next on Fringe Radio, part 2 of my Royal Mile walk from earlier this morning.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
I cannot believe he asked me to do OnlyFans.
Hold on, let's talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about.
We're always complaining about money.
Then get another job. I am not selling my body. I'm listening to me now. I'm good at this.
15 Minutes of Shame, from the 7th to the 30th of August at 7:20 at Playground 2 at Zoo Playground. Tickets at edfringe.com.
I want to tell you a true story. Many years ago, a humble young musical comedian was approached by some radio producers and asked if he might contribute one of his comedy voices to a new segment for their network's most popular show. For many years, this young man delighted in answering questions from people all over the world and bringing a little simple joy to his troubled land, while all the time, nobody knew who he really was. But now his story can finally be told. Mitch Ben is Asking Elvis, coming soon to a theater near you. Thank you very much.
This August, discover the best comedy, cabaret, kids shows and more at the Free Festival. With over 360 daily shows, there's something for everybody at a price for everyone. Donate what you think the show's worth at the end, or book pay what you can tickets to keep the Fringe accessible for everyone. The Free Festival, the real spirit of the Edinburgh Fringe. Full programme at freefestival.co.uk.
One story, two people. Amanda Crowley and Thomas Duncan. One lawyer, one mass murderer. The case is lost. She wants it anyways. Not to win, but to understand how monsters are made. Glimpse behind the societal masks, as with Monster Made, an intense character study, a captivating, psychological, intimate play is coming to the Fringe at Paradise in the Vault. Only the one who can change his mind can actually change something. Monster Made runs from August 24th to August 30th. Book your seats today at edfringe.com.
Florence Nightingale, you've heard of her, but have you heard of Betsi Cadwallader? The globe-trotting, fearless, feisty Welsh woman who defied Miss Nightingale to become one of the first frontline war nurses at the age of 65. Her story theatre company from Newport, South Wales brings Betsi to Edinburgh Festival Fringe, a heartwarming, funny and inventive two-woman play that restores a forgotten Welsh working-class heroine to her rightful place in history. Catch it at the Space at Surgeons Hall, 24th to 29th of August at 1:45pm. Suitable for children over 12. Tickets available from the Space box office.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
Sienna and Tara are here now. They've got a show starting today all the way through to the 29th. It's at the Space XXX, venue 38, a night at the musicals, back for another year. And these people, I think, are from Exeter University.
Yes, we are. Please.
You're here at the Fringe. We've been going 3 weeks and you've just finally turned up.
Yes, we literally came on Saturday and our first show's tonight. So please come watch it. It's really exciting.
Now, Sienna, tell us about it.
So there's 11 musical theatre songs back to back. It's a very, very dancey and singy musical, and you get to hear some of the Broadway's best songs from an incredibly talented cast.
And Exeter University have been here before, haven't they?
Yeah, this is our 9th year performing at Fringe, which is really exciting.
So, Exeter University, you've come up here. What actually happens when you're discussing the Fringe? We're going to come up to the Fringe for a week.
Well, flyering, practicing. We had an 8-hour rehearsal yesterday. We're doing 9 to 5, Matilda, Hercules, literally Great Gatsby, all the best. So yeah, and just lots of like fun nights and practices. So yeah,
it's been the best.
Yeah.
And the poster people and the leaflet people are out in force, I can see in the background as well, selling the show, which is at 5:40, isn't it, every day?
Yes, 5:40.
We wish you all the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much.
Next new one is The Zaniest Nonsense and Spaceballs. Warning, it's not set in space and it's the good, the bad and the Almighty.
Yeah.
Now this looks an intriguing production. It's at the Greenside at Riddles Court, venue 16, and it's all the way through to the 29th, 5:30 every day. Tell us about it.
So the premise is a new priest has turned up at the Vatican and he's been sent down to the vaults where all the secrets are, and he finds this thing called a chronovisor which shows what they thought was the past, but it also shows the future. And in it he sees there is an evil witch about to destroy the world, but here in Edinburgh. And so a nun, a father and a priest must travel from the Vatican here to stop the end of the world.
Oh, it sounds very exciting. Who wrote this?
I did.
You did. And your name, let's name names here.
My name is Justin, so we're Justin Cartledge. The director is Amy Clayton. We're Early Doors Productions. This is our 5th year up here. It's an amazing event. It is the place to be this August. You know, there's nowhere better.
Absolutely. Now, the good, the bad and the almighty is only half the story, isn't it? Because Early Doors Productions also have Lighthouse, which is, it says here, it's not just the past that haunts you, an original psychological thriller by Justin Cartledge, which is you. So here's another one. And this is happening also at Greenside at Riddles Court, venue 16, the Thistle Theatre, till the 29th, and that's 8:50. So what can you tell us about this one?
Well, Lighthouse, this is a play that came up here in 2022. It won the Carol Tambor Award up. It made the Scottish Herald Top 20 must-see shows. And then he went to bed for quite a while, and we thought, let's take it on tour. So from March this year, we've been at Malvern, we've done Brighton Fringe, which we sold out, Southend, and this was the pinnacle finishing here. When we did the Camden Fringe, it won silver there. It is set in 1921, so the effects of the First World War are still there. You have 3 lighthouse keepers are struggling with those demons, and then one foggy night, an impossible stranger turn up. There's no boat, he has no way of being there, but he's also carrying on him diamonds and a letter which appears to be German. And so these men have to decide what to do with this man, whether greed takes over, whether the idea of just being a good human being, and the play takes quite a dark turn from then on in.
So 2 completely different projects here. So you can pays your money, takes your choice, really. But obviously you're a bit of a past master here at the Fringe. Anyone considering coming up to the Fringe again, I'd imagine your advice would be come.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even if you're not coming to perform, we first come here the year before we performed, and everybody was saying, oh, you have to go. There's nowhere better, and you sort of think, well, it can never be as good as what people say it is, and then when you turn up and you go, no, it really is. The first time we come up here, said we weren't performing, we was here for 3 days, we took in 27 shows, half of that was free Fringe, obviously half of it you pay for. It is a mixture of the unbelievable, the bizarre, the wonderful, the creative minds all come together. It is a superb place to come. It is excellent.
It certainly is. Well, nice to talk to you, Justin, and all the best with both the shows.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Next up, another brand new show. I mean, if you think you've done 3 weeks and you've seen everything, no, you haven't, because there's still a week to go. And a lot of new plays and new shows are starting today, all the way through to the 29th. This one is starting at 3:05 at 9 Nidri Street. That's venue 9 at Nidri Street, the space at Nidri Street. And the Songsmiths have a show called All Eyes on Us. And Anna's here. This is another a cappella show, isn't it?
It is. One of like 5 on the street right now.
Just the 5? I think there's more than that.
There's definitely more, yeah.
So what makes you stand out from the rest? What's your USP?
We've got some pretty sick arrangements, which I'm pretty sure everyone says, but we've got some songs which you turn into like a bit of a jazz quartet kind of vibe. We've got dance breaks. I haven't been to any other a cappella shows, so I don't know if that is the norm. This is my first time on the Fringe. This is also my first time doing a cappella, so I'm not sure, but it's fantastic. And we're also singing David Bowie, which I think is pretty cool.
Which one?
Heroes.
Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. It had to be that one, didn't it?
It had to.
It also says here, a cappella, killer vocals, bold arrangements, amazing choreography. So there's 4 selling points there again.
This is true, yeah. Our choreo is great. As I said, we've got dance breaks. We've got lots of audience interaction. So if you want to come and have fun, then we're great, because our stage is like thrust, so everyone's on each side of it.
And you're at Leeds University?
Yeah, Leeds University. We've come down for the week, 24th, 29th.
You come down from Leeds?
Oh my God.
I would come up if I were you.
I don't know my geography. We've come.
You're not studying geography at Leeds University, presumably?
No, not at all. English. Yeah, we've come up for the week. It's great. It's my first time in Edinburgh. It's fantastic. And I'm just happy to sing with my friends, to be honest.
Brilliant. Yeah. So we'll just give you a quick plug in. Venue 9, Nidri Street, the space at Nidri Street. It's on till the 29th, and the first show today is at 3:05. By the time this goes out, it will all be over. Must be excited though. First Fringe.
Really excited. I am. I'm really excited. I hate flyering though, as I'm sure everyone says, but you know.
No, they don't actually. They say they absolutely love it because they get to meet people.
I love flying. This is true actually. I spoke to someone who was in Blood Brothers before. That was fun. Yeah, it's great. It's a lovely, lovely street. I'm excited to perform, so you should be excited to watch.
There we are. So just brush up on your geography, you'll be absolutely fine. Nice to talk to you, Anne. So here we are on the Royal Mile once again during our walk, and we bumped into an Italian called Francesco, who is promoting The Last Lie of Pinocchio, which starts tomorrow, the 25th, goes through to the 30th of August at 1:30, part of the Just the Tonic at the Caves. And, well, he's here with me now. Tell me more about it.
Well, our show is the sequel of Pinocchio stories.
Sequel?
A sequel, yeah. We can see an old Pinocchio that is very near to the end of his journey. As a daughter that is involved in our life, internet, work, don't live a lot, just thinking about today. And Pinocchio has to learn his daughter to enjoy the life and to enjoy the adventure. So has to say the last lie to convince her to start with a true life.
And is this your first Fringe?
But yes, it's our first Fringe. I see it's our first hours in the Fringe in Edinburgh today, and so it's very exciting to be there and to be in this historic and massive cultural event.
Because the Edinburgh Fringe is known all over the world, and obviously in Italy you're well aware of it. How excited are you to be performing here?
It's very exciting because we create this show to be international. So it's the right place to bring that and see if what we do is right, you know.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck with it. I'll tell you again, it's until the 30th of August, 1:30. It's at Just the Tonic, the Caves, which is venue 88. We wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much.
Yet another new show, Illuminations a cappella. Yes, another a cappella group to be arranged. Yes. And you cannot miss them on the mile. They're wearing these very bright orange T-shirts, and they're at venue 9 at Nidri Street, the space, from today at 12:55, so in about an hour's time. Excitement's building, and it's a 50-minute show, 12:55, and it's on till the 29th. Who do we have here?
I'm Elliot. I'm one of the musical directors and the beatboxer for the show.
Oh, you do the beatboxing? Give us a little sample of a beatbox. Here we go. That's very impressive.
Thank you.
How many in this group?
We have 14 of us. We are an award-nominated group. I'm currently the UK Beatboxing Vice Champion.
I can see why.
Thank you very much. We've placed in the top 10 consistently a cappella groups for the past 3 years. We've been nominated for international awards. We're featured on the Best of A Cappella official playlist. We'd love to see as many people as we can getting there.
Is this your first Fringe?
This is my third Fringe. The Looms has been doing Fringe for, I think, 9-ish years. For the past 5 years, we've been sold out 5-star shows, so you're in safe hands if you come.
Yes. So Illuminations, tell us about how, because this comes from Exeter University, who are no strangers to the Fringe.
No, we are not. We've been coming for ages. We've got another a cappella group, Sweet Nothings, who have been going to Fringe for ages. We've got Exeter Spotlights. We've got Theatre with Teeth. We've got Shotgun. There are so many wonderful production companies from the university, and we're so grateful to be a part of it.
Aspie is your name, isn't it?
Yes, Aspie is my beatboxing name.
Yes, featuring the UK Beatbox Vice Champion.
Yes.
We're very, very honoured to have you beatboxing your way down the Royal Mile. Who do we have here?
I'm Hannah. I'm the president of Illooms.
You're the president. So this goes back, what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, so I've been in the group. This is my second year at university, so I've been here for 2. But I've just been president for this year.
And there's someone else here. Your name?
I'm Ben.
Ben, you're the best singer, I understand, in the a cappella. Is that right?
Yeah. No, I'm the vice president as well.
You're the vice president. We've got the president, the vice president. We've got a beatbox vice champion. It's all happening here, and they're all wearing orange, so you cannot miss them. So very excited, obviously, because in less than an hour you'll be on stage.
Yes, very excited. Last year was absolutely incredible. It's just an amazing experience to be here with everyone. It's lovely.
Well, we'll give you a quick plug again. It's at Venue 9, the space at Nidri Street, all the way through to the 29th at 12:55. And the only bit of criticism I can give to these people, get more leaflets, because I've got to hand you back one there. But yeah, go and see these lovely people in the Royal Mile, and the best of luck at the Fringe.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Next up, yet another new show. It's The Tears of
Nerakhis.
But this is a fantasy musical. It's a musical by Albert Surinach Campos. Have I pronounced that right? Yeah. With music by Rafael. Oh dear, I've got into a dark hole now.
Rafael. It's Rafael.
Rafael. He's in Barcelona. So tell me about The Tears of, and what's it called again?
The Tears of Nerakhis.
Nerakhis.
Yes.
As in maracas. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about The Tears of Nerakhis.
It is a brand new fantasy musical with all original songs, 21 new songs. It has mythology, so Greek gods, and it centres around the relationship between two women who fall in love.
That's not a Spanish accent, is it?
It's not a Spanish accent. It's also a Scottish musical with the lead character being Scottish with a full Scottish accent.
And you have the prize for the best leaflets.
Yes, our leaflet has been beautifully designed by Albert, and it opens up in the middle. And it has our link to our Spotify. We have a full cast recording on Spotify, Apple Music and YouTube.
Then we can play some music then from it, can't we?
Yes, you can.
Excellent, we will do straight after this. But tell us where and when.
You can come see The Tears of Nerakhis at Surgeons Hall in the Grand Theatre at 1:10 from the 24th to the 29th of August.
The Tears of Nerakhis, Venue 53, Nicholson Street, to the 29th. It's 1:10 at the Surgeons Hall, which is obviously one of the space venues. So we wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely week.
And 1,000 lonely stars watch from above, and they glimmer in the hole that fills my insides, softly kissing me with shades of silver love that I once knew, but that now just burns and cries. But you are young, the worms in the ground envy the touch of your feet in the river, and the birds wish for your locks. No one that was sane would want my pain, vicious and violent, vehemently vain. I once wished to be turned into a tree
But he did hear it.
How?
He sent her to you when you needed her. And now she needs you. For too long your eyes have slept. Now they awake like the sun between the mountain. Broken, we once found you, hovered in despair. Now with the rising sun, go to a lay of snow hair.
That's from the cast recording of Tears of Nerakhis, one of the many shows featured in this morning's Royal Mile Walk. Now, St Cecilia's Hall at the foot of Edinburgh's Niddry Street is Scotland's oldest purpose-built concert hall, and it's also home to the University of Edinburgh's musical instrument collection. The collection includes keyboards, string, brass, wind, woodwind and percussion instruments, and during August it also goes by the name of Fringe Venue 77. Now on Sunday, Venue 77's programme of performances included the intriguingly entitled Viol Racket Show. Stuart McFarlane popped along and met up with a familiar face who told him more about the concert and the many instruments that were at the very heart of it.
Murray, hello again.
Hello again.
What a wonderful place we find ourselves in this afternoon.
This is an amazing place, the St Cecilia's Hall, with its collection of instruments.
It's a great little find for, I know a number of people I've been speaking to today have never been here before, knew very little about it and almost stumbled over it as a result of you advertising today's event.
Well, that's one of the things that we like to do here, because one of the members of our band, Arnold Myers, who was playing the sackbut and the serpent, was the director of the collections here for a long time. He's retired now, but of course we still have links with the museum and its wonderful collection.
A real interesting contrast to the concerts of midweek, coming here, a different venue, and in some ways slightly more intimate today, because you were able to come up close to the audience, open up one or two of the instruments and talk in more detail about their sound and about their origins.
Yes, that's right. This particular show that we call the Viol Racket Show, because it's about viols and rackets and other strange instruments, is our opportunity to introduce people to instruments they've probably never seen or heard before. And we love doing that. And in this place it's very special because several of the original instruments which were used as models for these reproductions we now play are in the collection here.
And looking at these instruments, you can see where the inspiration has come from for a modern-day violin, from a medieval violin, for example. And there was a bassoon, or an early interpretation of a bassoon being played today, for example, and an oboe as well featured. I mean, these are very rare occasions for people to see a medieval instrument that's an early interpretation of those.
Yes, that's right. And I think the thing about our performances is that people can, of course, come to the collection and just look at these things through the glass. But when they come to hear us, they can actually hear what they sound like as well. And not only just sound like, play a few notes on it, but actually playing the music of the period for which they were made and in which they were probably played.
One thing I'm really interested in is your own background. Tell me a bit more about your own interest in music, because I would imagine it will go back some way to childhood.
Yes, it does actually. My mother was musical, she sang, she played the violin, she played the piano. And so she introduced me to music. And I also had a very inspirational teacher, actually, of music in Dingwall Academy, where I went to school, up in the north of Scotland. A guy called Bob Weir, who himself was a trombone player as well as a keyboard player. And he actually inspired me to look into early music as well as modern music. And then when I came to university, it was just about the time that David Munro was getting very popular, with popularising very early medieval and Renaissance instruments.
And hailing from Dingwall, I would think it would be very easy to drift away to the Northern Isles, to the Western Isles, to explore other parts of Scotland and beyond.
Well, yes, that's right. In fact, I lived in the north of Scotland until I came down to university in Edinburgh, and we visited Orkney very often, particularly, and also the Western Isles. And there's all sorts of music goes on there. And in fact, things like the traditional Gaelic psalm singing is another thing that I'm quite involved with at the moment.
Now, one thing just to finish with, 24th of August is a very special day for the Edinburgh Fringe. We know this is the 79th year, but of course the Fringe actually was part of the Fringe on the same day as International Festival was established, performed in Dunfermline Abbey.
Now, I didn't know that, actually. I wasn't actually around at the birth of the Fringe. I have to say, we've been performing on the Fringe, I think, now for 54 years, but not for 75.
Well, I'm wondering that this may be an opportunity for you on behalf of the band to say happy birthday, Fringe.
Happy birthday, Fringe. Yes, we've really enjoyed being part of you for quite a long time.
Thank you for the time you've taken today to talk us through the background and some of the history of some of these really fascinating instruments.
Lovely to speak to you. Thank you.
Professor Murray Campbell of the Edinburgh Renaissance Band talking to Stuart McFarlane about the instruments played during the Viol Racket Show, a concert held at one of the most fascinating Fringe venues since Cecilia's Hall. The show, which also included dance in period costume, was a one-off performance, and the band, who have appeared annually at the Fringe since 1973, aim to return again next year.
Blue moon, blue moon, blue moon, keep shining bright. Blue moon, keep on shining bright. Gonna bring me back my baby tonight. Blue moon, keep shining bright. I said, blue moon, I'm Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. I said, blue moon, I'm Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Well, it was on my moonlight night, stars shining bright, whisper on high, my love, say goodbye. Blue moon, I'm Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Well, it was on my moonlight night, stars shining bright, whisper on high, my love, say goodbye. Blue moon of Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Well, it was on my moonlight night, stars shining bright, whisper on high, my love, say goodbye. Blue moon of Kentucky, just keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. I said, shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Yeah.
That's music from the Jive Aces, who are on till the 26th at various venues. Full details at edfringe.com. And finally today, as some of you may know, August the 24th has special significance during each and every festival here in Edinburgh. 79 years ago today, Rudolf Bing, the founding father of the International Festival, saw 4 years of hard work and careful negotiation finally fall into place. But events far away from the bright lights and flashbulbs of the Usher Hall were to help project Edinburgh onto the world stage. Stuart McFarlane takes up the story.
Glasgow's Unity Theatre was one of a string of early 20th century Scottish theatre companies. Formed in 1941, this was the company that staged Robert McLeish's The Gorbal Story in 1946, and as a consequence it was naturally keen to be part of the Edinburgh International Festival's inaugural lineup the following year. International founding director Rudolf Bing, however, had other ideas. The group had met with Bing during the winter of 46 into very early 1947, but their arguments for inclusion ultimately fell on deaf ears. Evelyn Garrett, assistant director of the Unity Theatre, confirmed as much in a letter to the Glasgow Herald at the end of January, stating that Bing had said that no Scottish theatre groups would be taking part in the International Festival or indeed would have any independent performances publicised alongside the main festival. As David Pollock noted in his excellent Edinburgh Festivals book, Bing's tastes were somewhat elitist. As an exiled Austrian living in London, he was no expert in the Scottish popular theatre tradition. Attracting local working class audiences was not really high on his priorities. This was a man setting his sights on reforming the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra and bringing Sadler's Wells Ballet to Scotland's capital city. Somewhat bullishly, the Glasgow Unity Theatre carried on meeting every challenge it faced, and ultimately they would perform in Edinburgh in 1947. 2 productions, in fact. They were one of 6 Scottish theatre groups, joined by a further 2 from England, that would find venues across the city and beyond to perform during late August and early September. And on August the 24th, while a packed audience inside the Usher Hall watched the curtain rise on the very first Edinburgh International Festival, Every Man was being performed in Dunfermline. The cast unaware they were breaking new ground in helping set in motion what would become an artistic juggernaut. Every Man performed inside the atmospheric Dunfermline Abbey, just across the Forth. Backed by the Carnegie Trust, this production stood out, not just for its stunning setting, but because this was the only Fringe show staged outside Edinburgh that year. At the time, these pioneering groups called themselves festival adjuncts. The term Fringe hadn't even been coined yet, but a critic already remarked it was a shame Every Man was so far out on the fringe of the festival, planting the seed for a name that would soon define a global phenomenon. Writer Robert Kemp is seen by many as the man who made Fringe a name to remember. So 79 years on, and a full 12 years before the birth of the Edinburgh Festival Fringe Society, maybe we should take a moment today to raise a glass to the pioneers of Scottish theatre and say, Happy Birthday Fringe.
And that brings us to the end of another show. We'll be back on Fringe Radio again tomorrow. Thanks for listening, and from me, Stuart Cameron, and the team, bye for now.